Say again?
You don't know these words?
No, just say it again. Just say
हर हर महादेव।
Har Har Mahadev.
भाई साहब एक और को बना रहा हूँ मैं महादेव का भक्त। देख लो भाई साहब, यूके की है लड़की।
I don't understand Hindi, so you can say.
लड़की यूके से है, इंडियन लड़के से शादी भी कर सकती है और सिटीजनशिप भी वहीं की है।
I think I first came when I was 12 years old with my mum and my sister. That was a huge culture shock. I don't know what I was expecting. And
हेलो दोस्तों, स्वागत है आपका हमारे यूट्यूब चैनल द रॉ नरेशन में। मेरा नाम है सूरज सिंह खनान और आज के इस एपिसोड में हमारे साथ जो गेस्ट है ये बहुत ख़ास है। ये हिंदुस्तान से ही है लेकिन बाहर देश में सेटल हो रखे हैं, यूके लंदन। तो चलते हैं, मिलाते हैं आपसे, जानते हैं इनकी लाइफ वहाँ पे कैसी है और ये इंडिया के बारे में कैसे सोचते हैं। काफ़ी देश इन्होंने घूमे हैं तो इनकी जर्नी, इनका ट्रैवलिंग का एक्सपीरियंस देखते हैं कैसा होने वाला है। हाय,
hello,
हाउ आर यू?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
आई एम फाइन, थैंक यू। सो कैन यू टेल आवर ऑडियंस योर नेम एंड वेयर आर यू फ्रॉम?
My name's Jaymini. My name's Jaymini Patel. I'm from the UK, London.
Like you are citizen over there but originally you from India.
Yeah,
like
so my
your roots.
ancestors are from Gujarat. My family's from Gujarat, but my family left India in the 1940s and they moved to East Africa. So my mum's side.
Okay, East Africa.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So my mum's side of the family settled in Kenya and my father's side in Tanzania.
Okay.
And then in 1960s, when my parents were like 1 years old, 2 years old, everybody left and came to the UK.
So your family has traveled so many places.
They have. They took many risks to just better our lives. And I think, especially back then where you don't have like Google or phone, like you don't even have mobiles, like nothing. Like it's just, you write letters, yeah, England is nice, come to England, and then the whole family receives the letter. And then just based off of trusting that it's going to be a better life for us, you go. And it's quite admirable. Yeah, it's a big move.
So you think like it's a better life in UK now?
I'm grateful for being brought up in the UK. I think having a UK passport is a strong passport.
Yeah.
Having British pounds is also a strong currency, and I have a stable life in the UK. If I want to settle in the UK, it's a stable life. So I am grateful for those opportunities. But who knows? Like if I was born in India, if I was born in East Africa, I don't know what my life would have been. But I'm happy with my life and having all my family together in the UK. So I'm grateful for that.
Nice. So like you are staying in UK, like you are born and brought up over there. So is there like your culture, it's again like you belong from a Hindu family somehow, like you might be a non-religious or, but again like your family belongs to like Hindu religion, and do you think like you guys are carry forwarding like your culture and religion, or it's different, like how you manage to keep your culture and everything?
Yeah, that's a good question. Because my parents were also brought up in London, and so my family is Hindu. I myself, I wouldn't say I was religious. I'm kind of trying to find that path, which is why this trip in India is happening. My grandmother is very religious. I'd say my parents, well, my mum would say she's Hindu, but we don't practice so much like we have a small mandir in the house that sometimes if like
nice.
when we were little, if we had exams, we were like ringing the bell, like, but otherwise like it doesn't really get used very much. When we were younger, we used to celebrate festivals like Diwali, but as we've gotten older, and now my generation is coming into the older generation, it's gotten lost a lot because, yeah, we were born, we grew up in London, all my friends are white. So all my friends are English. So it's, yeah, I think it's difficult to maintain that. And I'm starting to realize that more. The more I'm traveling in India, I love the culture. And actually it's now maybe I want to take that back home with me and maybe start using the mandir a bit more, or start singing some bhajans around the house. Like I think my family would be very shocked if I came home and did that, but I'm enjoying the culture, and it'd be nice to take it back and actually maybe get some new practices within our family.
And like the Prime Minister in UK, like he is again a Hindu, like Rishi Sunak. So we already talked about him. And last year, last year, the Diwali, like it was a news in India, like he is celebrating Diwali, going to the temples. And yeah, he is of course a British citizen because he's Prime Minister. So, but again, like he's celebrating all the Hindu festivals and all. So for us it's very impressive all the time. Like when we see people like who are celebrating, who are Hindus settled in abroad, in UK especially, in Europe. So we feel proud, like from here. I know they are not doing like Prime Minister over there. He might be not thinking anything like about it, but still we feel proud.
Yeah, I mean, we felt proud. It's nice to see a person of color. It's the first person of color to be a prime minister, so it was a big moment, and that person to be Indian as well was huge for us. So yeah, it was a proud moment for us as well, being in the UK and actually seeing. I mean, Indians have been in the UK since like the 1960s. That's when the big kind of migration of Indian people came in, and you know it's taken what to 2020, so that's like 60 years. But yeah, we've accomplished something huge. So yeah, we were proud as well.
It's like for us, it's like Britishers have ruled in India like since a long time, so now it's our turn.
Yes, so, I love that. I love that. I haven't thought about it like that.
And you love traveling. How many countries you have traveled?
I've traveled to 68 countries.
68 countries?
Yeah.
Bhai Saab. 68 countries. And how many countries are in total in the world?
96 or 97, something like that, yeah.
So, like, you want to travel all over the countries?
No, I don't have goals like that. For me, I don't like to put pressure on myself. Like I know some people are like, oh, I want to reach 100 countries, and I think that's amazing. But for me, it's like I just like to go somewhere and really enjoy it and live in it, rather than being like, okay, if I spend 2 months here, that means that I'm going to take the time away from the other countries, and I have the list I need to get through. So it would be amazing to experience every country, but I have no kind of goals in mind. It's just how I feel in the moment will take me to that country.
Nice. And in India, like how many times you have came in India, traveled in India, and how many places?
Okay, I think this is my 9th time in India. Wow. I first came when I was 12 years old with my mum and my sister. That was a huge culture shock. I don't know what I was expecting. And I actually remember we had a really long flight, like a really, really long flight. And then we got out the airport in Mumbai. And back then they still you chew bun, don't you? But back then they were spitting everywhere. And we came out the airport and I just saw men like spitting red. And I was like,
what is it?
I thought they were spitting blood. And I was like, oh my God, where are we? Like, what is happening? Why is everybody sick? Like, so that was my first experience of India. But I've traveled with my family here, I think 3-4 times, and I've done solo trips as well.
Now you know what they speak.
Now I know it's common, and now they don't spit it so much. It's like banned in like a lot of states, so you don't see it so much anymore.
Okay, it's funny.
And I've traveled, I don't know how many places I've traveled in India. I've traveled a lot the south. I've traveled most kind of known places, like touristy places, north, south, and west. I haven't touched the east yet. I'm hoping to do that at some point. Maybe not
this time, no?
Maybe not, because it doesn't fit in with my plans, and then the temperature gets too hot going into
East?
March. Yeah.
Oh, east is beautiful.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but it's in rainy season, like you should avoid. Otherwise, you can visit there in all the season except rainy season. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Maybe on this trip then I'll experience it.
Yeah. It's nice. And so, you like India? Like, do you feel some connection or nothing? Just traveling?
Yeah, that's a good question. I struggled to connect with India, and I think it's because even though I look Indian, I feel like kind of sometimes I dress like a backpacker. I have a backpack. Like, I think people know that, they can tell that I'm not Indian. So I still kind of get like scammed the same way. Like, people treat you as a foreigner sometimes. And for me, it always used to be just kind of holidays, traveling. But I was here in India this time last year, and I just felt this really strong connection to the country. And I think, it shifted for me. Last year's trip really shifted. And then I went back again in July, and I've come back again in December last year, and I'm still traveling. So it feels more like home, and I feel more relaxed. I don't feel like I'm traveling in a country. I feel like I'm like experiencing my home country.
Nice. And when you go in the streets or anywhere, you can even bargain. Like, no one will think like you are a foreigner or something, unless
until I open my mouth and then they realize that I have an English accent and I can't speak any Hindi. So I think that's my doubt. I think if I could speak Hindi, then it would be a bit different.
And again, your name, like Jaymini, it's a beautiful name. And what does it mean?
So Jaymini was an ancient philosopher. And that's why.
So do you still like you know anything like about the Jaymini, or just you know like it's a philosopher? He's a philosopher. That's it.
Yeah, I just knew he was a philosopher. Yeah.
तो हम लोगों ने पहले भी अभी बात की थी जैमिनी का मतलब क्या है. तो फिलोसोफर है, इंडियन फिलोसोफर, साइंटिस्ट फिलोसोफर है. So as you are from Gujarat and again from Patel family, so do you know anything about Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel?
No, I actually don't.
You heard this name?
I have, yeah, but I don't really know so much about.
Okay. He is called like Iron Man of India.
Yeah, there's a big statue of him in Gujarat. I visited.
He played very like important role in the struggle of independence, Indian independence. Like I was thinking like, again he is Patel, so you are from the same like Patel. So oh, so many things that you should.
I'm gonna put this together.
Like, Jaymini is your first name, so you should learn about like study about the Jaymini, and Patel your last name. Again, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. How many places you have traveled in Himachal?
This
and all over, like
this I think is my first.
In Himachal?
Yeah.
But Dharamshala, Manali.
Oh yeah, no, I've been to Dharamshala. That's it. Yeah, Manali I haven't visited. So this is my second time. I was in Dharamshala in July last year, I think. Yeah, I was there. It's beautiful. It's like it's like you kind of feel the shift between like going into northern India. So it's slightly more calmer. Beautiful scenery, mountainous. Like, my legs have gotten very, very good workout since I've been here. and you still, you feel like, you can feel that kind of shift into like the real north, like the cooler air, the fresher air. So I'm really enjoying this part of India for sure.
Yeah. So do you think like it's different than other places of India? You have traveled many places
Yeah,
in
I think
India.
every state is completely different. Like, not completely. I mean, there is obviously the underlying Indian culture, but like the food, the people, even the way people drive, like everything is like slightly different. And like religion as well. Like the South is a much more, in my opinion, the South feels much more chilled out.
Yeah.
It's quite religious. Obviously, you got like the beaches and everything around that side. The mid of India is quite chaotic. Like for me, it's like if you want full on Indian experience, just start in the middle of India and then nothing will shock you when you leave. And then you get north,
Yes.
and it's like the north of India for me is like really spiritual. It's got this like energy to it. It's a bit more calmer, cooler, much more scenery. There's so much more scenery like within the mountains and the hills.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of like split India into different states, but also like just generally geographically like into three portions.
It's like I have talked many foreigners here, so they are like this Delhi and the places around Delhi. It's very chaotic. It's like we say, anyone who has survived in Delhi can survive anywhere in the world.
Yeah, when I first went backpacking solo, within India, Delhi was my first spot. And even though I traveled in India before with my family, um, it was a culture shock for me. It was, the way I describe India is sensory overload. Like you've got the noise, the smell, the colors, the food, like people here, people there. Like it's exciting, and I think you have to understand. Like at first it's like, for me it was like a bit of a culture shock and I found it a bit too much, but when you start to understand the sensory overload and how it all works, even though it's the roads are like busy and people are like cutting people up and beeping and everything, like it seems chaotic because of where I've grown up, but actually it's organized chaos. Like it works.
Yeah.
Like if I was to drive the way I drive in England here, I would cause massive accidents. Like it doesn't work. But everyone seems to know what they're doing and everything just flows. It works. But when you first come, you think, how is this
working?
Yeah, how is this working?
So yeah, it's a very good word. Like it's a managed, chaotic thing.
Yeah, organized
Organized,
chaos.
yeah, organized
Yeah.
chaos.
Yeah.
Nice, a good word to defend ourselves. Yeah. So it's yeah, it's different in your place. So it's very much organized. But I have heard like in London, like it's all the way so much traffic, so many people there. No.
I mean, not compared to here, no. I mean, it's any city. Like London, like you go to any city in the world, you're going to have a lot of people. You're going to have traffic. Like that's what comes with being in the city. No, but yeah, we have good public transport and things like that, like the underground.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, maybe if I hadn't travelled, I would be like, yes, London's busy, London's traffic. But travelling outside of Europe and experiencing other cities, when I go back home, I'm like, this is nothing. Like you can't compare it. Like I guess you can't compare.
Yeah.
So for me, it's fine.
If you will ever get a chance to date an Indian guy, will you? Or
if I connect with them, yeah. For me, it's not whether they're Indian, English, whatever. It's if you connect with somebody, then I think that's really special, and I think you should explore that.
And you can marry.
Can marry?
Yeah, Indian guy.
I could if I, yeah.
देख लो भाई साहब, यूके की है लड़की.
I don't understand Hindi, so you can be saying.
लड़की यूके से है, इंडियन लड़के से शादी भी कर सकती है और सिटीजनशिप भी वहीं की है.
I think
Okay, jokes apart. Like I am kidding.
It's fine. I'm not offended either way.
So like if, for example, you will connect with some guy in India and then he will say like you have to stay in India over here, for example, in Himachal or maybe in Gujarat or somewhere. So it's like you can shift in India.
I could, yeah. For me, moving to a new country, I think when you asked me the question, would I move to India? I think it's hard for me to say because I don't have a life here. Like I don't have friends, I don't have a support unit. But I think if you moved with somebody and created a life together, I think that's more of a yeah. It would be easier to do that.
भाई दोस्तों की कमी हो रही है वो भी इंडिया में. You understand? No.
No.
In India we have lots of friends and it's not difficult to make friends. And again, friends, like when I talk about my friend circle, like all my friends are not just friends, they are like brothers. And it's not one or two, and like we have many like a good friend circle. Like not for me only, every guy I'm talking about, everyone in India. So and it's not that much, like it's not very much tough to make friends or like this. So you can make friends, like if in case you will get married in India, so your husband or your boyfriend, he might have a circle. So and even when you travel, when you go anywhere, when you go, you will make friends in India. So it's not a big deal here, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it's very different from England. Like I think people move to England, I feel like we're not so open, we're not so, as a culture, we're not so friendly. Like even like I find it funny when I go back to England and you notice the difference. Like here you walk down the street and people look at you and they smile. Or I remember actually one time I got on the metro in Calcutta and I got into the carriage and it was so loud. Everybody's talking. I'm like, do they know each other? I'm confused. I'm like, does everyone know each other in this carriage? And then I realised, no, people just, how are you doing? Let's talk. Like people just get on and you just talk, like chit chat. And that's so nice. Like in England, if you walk down the street and look at somebody, first of all, they're like, you smile at somebody, they think you're like crazy. They'll probably they'll cross the road. I'm not even joking. They would cross the road. They're like, why is she looking at me and why is she smiling at me? The metro, the underground in the UK, nobody talks. It's rush hour and it is silence. Like really, it's so different.
It's all the way different. When you go walking on the streets, people like whoever is crossing, he or she can give a smile.
Yeah. It's friendly. This is how we should be. Like
in India, like India is famous for food as well. So you like Indian food or spicy food?
I love spicy food. I love Indian
being a
food.
Gujarati.
Yeah, we have good food, and my mom, my mother, my grandma, they cook amazing Indian food. So actually, like I love to cook, but I don't cook Indian food. Like I cook food from like all other cultures, but because my mom and my grandma cook it so well, I'm like, yeah, I'll eat your food. But yeah, coming to India and experiencing like different food from different states is always for me like I sometimes travel for food, like yeah, so it's exciting. But then sometimes like I do miss like really plain food. I think because everything has such a taste to it, and we're not used to that. Like sometimes our food in England, I mean English food is very plain, anyways. But yeah, I miss like kind of just plain food sometimes. But yeah, I love coming to India and experiencing the different foods, the street foods as well. I love that. Like we don't have that in England. Like if we have like sometimes we have street food markets, but it's like it's not just some random man walking down my street with like some bunny boy or something. Like it's like an area where on Saturday mornings between 9 and 12 they're going to be, and you have to pay for like a license to be there, and it's very organized. Like I love it here. It's like, what do I want to eat? Who knows? Let's just walk outside and who's there? Okay, cool. We'll have some whatever you're cooking. I'll experience that today.
What is your favorite food in India?
Oh, that's a big question. I don't know. I've had some amazing biryani since I've been in India. This time I was in Hyderabad. I love vada. in the
Bada,
south.
bada,
Yeah, I think
bada. I
the
don't know.
breakfast, the like fried.
It's a bada pav or something.
No,
What? No?
vada. It's like idli and vada.
Idli. Okay,
But it's the
okay.
fry. Yeah, I
Yeah,
love that
yeah.
with the coconut sambal. Oh, that I could just eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like, yeah. But no, it's hard to decide. It's hard to choose.
Yeah, yeah. And what is the one thing that you don't like in India? You can say you hate about India. One thing. I cannot hear many things.
One thing, okay. Oh gosh.
Oh, that's good if you
No,
if there is nothing.
no. There's a few things. I'm just wondering which one. You know what it is? It's probably sometimes like the cow poo on the floor.
What?
The cow shit on the floor.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, because I love to walk. I mean, here there's like no cows. Obviously, we're so high up. But like for example, I was in Varanasi, and you can't just like walk and enjoy it. You're like walking, stepping here, stepping there. There's a cow here, tail like, trying to swing in your face. And I'm like, for me, it just adds like another element to like your perceptions. Like, okay, there's people here, bikes here, poo on the floor, it's just, yeah, for me,
yeah.
you can't control where a cow shits on the floor. But for me, I'm like, I like always having to look where you tread and yeah.
And you see so many cows on the streets, on the roads.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, how can I say, बहुत बुरी बात है. Like, it's a bad thing. Like, we kind of worship cows.
Yeah.
But still the cows are like on the streets, they eating the garbage, plastic. It's bad for at least for the country like India, because we worship the cow, kind of worship, we can say. And it's very holy animal for us. And still it's only for the politics, for the news channels. But when we go on the streets, roads, we see like no one even cares. Even sometimes government say we will make a cow shed or something. I don't know, still I see so many cows in like on the roads. This was the thing that you don't like about India. One thing, or you can say many, which you like about India.
Oh, I love the people. They're just friendly. Right?
Okay, yeah.
Control the ego.
Okay.
Yeah. No, the people are super
No
friendly
worries.
and everyone's so sweet and helpful as well.
Yeah.
Like, even if I look lost, like I'm like, is it this way? Is it this way? Which is my train? Like, which platform? Where's my carriage? Like, people to see you look lost and like, where do you need to go? And in England, you don't. If you're a foreign person and you're lost,
Yeah.
no one cares. Like, you're on your own. Good luck to you.
Oh.
So people are really sweet here. It's beautiful, like scenery, nature. It's very diverse as well.
Yeah,
You've got like beaches, mountains, like
we have all the things. Like,
yeah. Food. Food is number one for me.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think just overall, I think
You can go on
spirituality
and
as
on and
well.
on.
Yeah. For me, like spirituality, feeling that energy, like you get off the plane and you feel that. I love actually one of my favorite things is getting off the plane, especially in India, and it's like it's got a certain like not a bad or a good, it's just a certain smell. You know, like when you walk into someone's house and it has like a certain scent to it. India has that, and when I get off the plane and I like smell that air and it's like a warm air, like it. Yeah, I love that feeling.
Nice. And can you say like anything about Himachal?
I don't know if I can comment so much on this. I've not spent that much time. I've been here for 2 days. I was in Dharamshala, but I was studying Buddhism at the time. So I was in a Buddhist kind of monastery setting. So I can't comment, and I haven't experienced enough.
And any other thing you know about Himachal or Shimla?
Not so much. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I don't know what to say.
So you
My
have
experience has been like just enjoying the nature and the beauty.
yeah. You should explore the culture as well, the villages, the remote areas.
Yes. Next
It's
time when I
more
have more
interesting.
time, I only had 2 days this time, so but I definitely will be back. And I've already like people that I met in India. They're like, "Oh, well, what are you doing? Where are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm in Shimla." Like and I told them, "Come, you need to visit. If you're in the north, come to Shimla." Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Shimla
promoting
is
it.
very good. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you can promote even Zuzu Hostel.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, so next time when you will come in Shimla, um, we will like take you with us in the remote areas.
Perfect.
We can
So,
travel in the remote areas, in the villages. Then only you can see the real culture, which is like I'm not promoting the culture or anything. It's indeed it's good, and your experience will be, I guess, like it's very much different, and it's very diverse. Even all over India, it's diverse, different. Some connections, but it's different again.
I think as well, like Shimla can, and I was here over the weekend, so it gets quite busy with tourists, and I think it takes a lot longer to understand the culture of a place when it's touristy because it's set up for tourists, like it's busy with people that are from all over India and all over the world, rather than like, yes, if I went to a village, I would definitely feel that culture and understand it more because you're just with local people doing their local things on a normal day. I think so. For me, coming especially over the weekend, you're going to feel is a bit more busier than like if I was exploring on like a Monday or Tuesday. Maybe I can meet more local people and understand a bit more about the culture.
Villages are very different. People are more calm, peaceful, helping. Like if you'll go anywhere in the village, no matter you solo or with someone, if you don't have any place to stay, they can call you. They can ask and call you to their home for free, like not asking any money. They can help anyway, like wherever you are, especially in Himachal, especially in villages of Himachal. And like I guess people also have enough time to talk to you, like even they want to know more and more things about you. Which is okay. So the last thing, like we will talk about like quite political thing.
Okay.
Do you know who is the Indian Prime Minister?
Modi.
Yeah. And the president?
No.
President is the supreme post in India.
No.
Constitutional supreme post, not powerful.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
How?
I'm not so much into like politics. I know kind of very high level, and especially like this year, even in the UK, this year the past year I've been traveling so much, like I've not been at home. I think things change so fast. You really have to be kind of in that moment to experience, to understand it. And then if you miss a week, there's a new prime minister in England. There's like, it changes so quickly. And where I've been in different continents of the world, it's hard to kind of keep up.
And I tried my best to have a conversation in English. So how was it? How was my English?
No, your English is perfect. But sorry to anyone who doesn't have any idea what's going on in this interview because I can't speak Hindi. But maybe you'll gain some like English speaking followers through this.
Yeah. So भाई साहब बहुत कोशिश की है, सारी जितनी इंग्लिश आती थी मैंने कोशिश की है अच्छे से बोलने की, यार अब तो उसने भी बोल दिया अच्छा बोल रहा हूँ मैं. I said like you also said like I speak good English.
That's perfect. Yeah.
And I hope you will find some Indian guy who are traveling in India.
Reach out, guys.
Guys, go solo. Okay, so let's end this conversation here. तो आज की बात को यहीं पे ख़त्म करते हैं. मुझे उम्मीद है कि फन था, मज़ा आया होगा आप लोगों को. और भी ऐसे कोई अगर आपके दिमाग में कोई क्वेश्चंस है जो हम पूछ सकते हैं लोगों से जो बाहर इंडिया के लोग हैं, जो बाहर सेटल हुए हैं, या फिर कोई फॉरेनर ही है, तो अगर कोई क्वेश्चन है तो कमेंट बॉक्स में ज़रूर डाल दो. तो ठीक है, बाकी चैनल को सब्सक्राइब तो कर ही देना है ना, अपने दोस्तों के साथ शेयर भी कर ही दो. You can say the audience to subscribe the channel and share it with the friends.
Yeah, subscribe, share, like, do all that. Yeah.
Okay, मिलते हैं. धन्यवाद. जय हिंद. Okay, last thing. Okay. Like, can you say our audience, Har Har Mahadev?
Say again?
You don't know these words?
No, just say it again. Just say
Har Har Mahadev.
Har Har Mahadev.
You know who is Mahadev? Mahadev? Oh, you don't know? Yeah, you are non-religious.
I'm learning. It's only been a year of me on the spiritual path.
So this one topic, like we left it as when you said like you are non-religious. So what do you think about India, like about the religion? It's like some says we have many gods, some says only one god. What do you think?
What's my opinion on
Hinduism, like in Hindu god?
I don't know whether I believe in gods or the creators. Like for me, since I've been in India, really January this year, I've stayed in some ashrams and I've been learning about it. So for me, it's a new concept. Like previous to this, I learned about Buddhism, and Buddhism is so similar to Hinduism, except you have the gods. So I think it's nice. I think it adds like all the stories. Like I love it. I think it's a really nice way to learn about religion through gods and all the stories.
You should learn about Mahadev, Shiva, Lord Shiva.
Okay, yeah.
As Mahadev is another name of
okay,
Shiva.
I know Lord Shiva. I know Lord Shiva.
So we say like the Gautam Buddha have showed us one path to attain nirvana, moksha. So Mahadev tells 100 paths.
Okay, wow.
So it's we say Mahadev is the supreme god, like Shiva is the supreme god.
Yep.
And especially people who lives in the mountains and even in the plains in the south. Even once the cult of Shiva was all over India, from India, not all over India, but I will not say all over the world, but most of the parts of the world, like from here to the Middle Asia to the half of Europe in Russia. So there was a time the cult of Shiva was all over India.
Wow.
We can say.
Yeah.
So I guess believing on the gods is different thing. Believing on Shiva is all the way different thing, because it's teaching the way of life, way of living. It's all the way different.
Okay.
So yeah, you can. भाई साहब एक और को बना रहा हूँ मैं महादेव का भक्त. So so like we can say devotee to the Mahadeva, to Lord Shiva.
Okay.
Yeah. So we say Har Har Mahadev.
Har Har Mahadev.
Yeah. So you can say Har Har Mahadev.
Har Har Mahadev.
Yeah. Okay.